Hi, my name is Kristen Thibodeau, and this is my presentation on mistaken behavior. Mistaken behavior is the errors in judgment and actions that children make during the process of learning new life skills. Children learn by making mistakes. They do not do them to intentionally get into trouble. They need the guidance of teachers and parents to learn which behaviors are and are not acceptable. They need to be led by example to handle situations appropriately. Children should not be punished for mistaken behaviors. They should instead be corrected in a way that is responsive to the action and the age of the child. There are 3 levels of mistaken behavior. The first is experimentation. The second is socially influenced behavior. And the third is strong unmet needs mistaken behavior. The experimentation level of mistaken behavior is behavior that occurs as a result of involvement in or curiosity about a situation. It is normal and natural for children to do things purely to see what will happen, because they are curious. Sometimes the situation gets out of hand unintentionally because children get so caught up in the moment when they are playing, they don't always stop and think about the results of their actions. Sometimes the behavior is intentional, but it is because they are curious about what will happen if they try something. This is normal because children have a natural desire to explore their world. An example of experimentation, mistaken behavior, is coloring on a wall. A child loves to color on a chalkboard and whiteboard, so they try using the chalk or the markers on a wall to see what they will look like there. Instead of yelling or time out, a better way to handle this would be to get down on the child's level and explain that we color on paper and the chalkboard, not walls. Then we could let the child help scrub the marks off of the wall so they are not getting away with it or thinking coloring on walls is acceptable. The socially influenced level of mistaken behavior is learned behavior. Children pick up on everything. We need to be sure we are providing positive examples for them to mimic. They might pick up on things from friends, family, or teachers because those are the people they spend the most time with. An example would be when one child starts running around the table at snack time. It needs to be stopped immediately, or before you know it, the whole class will likely join in. We can always say, "Walking feet, please." We run outside so that we don't get hurt. There are too many things we could trip on inside. The teacher could hold a class meeting and have the students list things they could trip over in the classroom and items that might be broken if knocked over. You could say something like, "If we broke the dollhouse because we were running, we wouldn't have any place to play with our dolls anymore. That is the only dollhouse we have. We need to take care of it." The third and most serious level of mistaken behavior is strong unmet needs. It is shown through extreme inappropriate behaviors over time and is caused by physical and/or psychological needs not being met. Children showing these signs are just surviving. They cannot cope with the difficulty in their lives. The classroom is often the safest place in these children's lives. Teachers must be alert to how long and how often outbursts occur. The child might be suffering physically, emotionally, or both. Teachers might be the only adult helping or getting help for the child. They must also strive to maintain the feeling of safety and security in the classroom. An example would be a child whose father was recently put in prison. They don't fully understand what happened, just that he did something wrong and he can't spend time with them anymore. Because of this, and especially if their father did something violent, they might lash out, becoming aggressive toward others and using inappropriate language or just shutting down completely. The teacher might need to bring in other professionals to help. She needs to gather information about the situation, build a healthy helping relationship with the child, make the classroom environment more manageable for the child, intervene in non-punitive ways, and teach the child acceptable alternatives for their behavior. This is called comprehensive guidance. Examples of what would not be mistaken behavior would be when the child continues to do something after learning it is not appropriate, when they have been told not to color on the wall but continue to do so after multiple warnings, or when they keep using an inappropriate word are both examples of this. The difference between misbehavior and mistaken behavior is that the term misbehavior implies that the child is intentionally doing something wrong and therefore needs to be punished. This makes the child feel ashamed and inadequate and like they can't do anything right. On the other hand, mistaken behavior means that we are aware children learn from experiences and some of those experiences are not appropriate. They should be informed what is appropriate and what is not appropriate and about what they did and ways they might handle similar situations better next time. They can then learn from their experience. These are some YouTube videos from a couple of psychologists who work with children. We would watch them and discuss our reactions with them, as well as any notes we may have taken during the videos. Now we will do our small group activities. First, we have a matching game where we will match the mistaken behaviors with the age group in which they typically occur. second, we will be given 3 scenarios. 2 will be examples of mistaken behavior and 1 will not. In groups, we will act out the 3 scenarios and decide which one is not mistaken behavior. Finally, each group will pick a slip of paper from a shoebox. It has a mistaken behavior written on it, and they must come up with how a teacher should handle it. Thank you.